There's something interesting about how people differ when it comes to personal space. Some people love hosting. They find joy in opening their home, cooking for others, filling the room with laughter and voices. But then, there are others, maybe you, who feel something completely different. The moment you know someone's coming over, your chest tightens a little. You start thinking about where they'll sit, whether the house looks presentable, and how long they might stay. And even though you smile, even though you welcome them warmly and make them comfortable, inside, there's this quiet countdown. A part of you waiting for the moment when the door finally closes again, and the house becomes silent. Not because you dislike people, but because your space means something sacred to you. For some people, home isn't just a place, it's energy. It's the one environment where they can fully exhale, where they don't have to perform or explain or host. It's a private extension of who they are, their mood, their rhythm, their calm. So when someone enters that space, even someone they like, it feels like a small invasion, not in a rude or dramatic way, just a quiet shift in energy. The air changes, the silence breaks, the freedom to be completely yourself disappears a little. That's why some people don't like having guests. Not because they're unfriendly, but because their home is their emotional recharge zone. It's where they go to restore peace after facing the world. Inviting others into it, even for a short time, can feel like sharing a part of their inner world that they prefer to keep safe. There's actually a psychological layer to this. In personality theory, people who value solitude and stability often have a stronger sense of territorial comfort. Their environment is tied to emotional safety. Every corner, every item, every sound in their space is something they've chosen intentionally. So when guests arrive, that comfort gets disrupted, not because the guests do anything wrong, but because their presence changes the flow. Imagine your mind as a pond, calm, still, clear. Then someone drops a pebble into it. The ripples aren't bad, they just ripple. That's what guests do to an introvert's inner peace. It's not rejection, it's sensitivity. Some people also associate home with recovery. It's the only place where they can take off the mask they wear outside. The polite smiles, the social energy, the constant awareness. So when guests come over, they have to put that mask back on again. Even if it's a friendly one, they start managing impressions, tone, comfort, timing. It becomes work, invisible emotional labor. And for people who recharge through solitude, that can be quietly exhausting. After the guests leave, they don't feel energized, they feel drained. Not because anything went wrong, but because maintaining openness requires energy. Their home is their only place where they can simply be, and that's why they guard it so carefully. You might have noticed this in yourself. You're not rude when people visit. In fact, you're probably a wonderful host. You know how to make people comfortable, how to offer drinks, how to smile and listen. But when it's over, there's a deep sigh of relief. You clean up, you sit down, and suddenly the silence feels like oxygen again. That's when you realize it's not people you dislike. It's noise. It's energy exchange. It's being on. You can love people and still crave solitude. You can be kind and still prefer privacy. Both can be true. Psychologists say that people who protect their space like this often have a strong sense of emotional boundaries. They don't build walls, they build balance. They understand that peace doesn't come from being alone all the time, but from knowing when to return to themselves. For them, home is a sanctuary, a small world they can control in a life full of unpredictable energy. And when someone steps into it, that control shifts just a little. Even a close friend sitting on your couch can unconsciously shift the atmosphere, the temperature of your inner calm. That's why these people often prefer meeting others outside, in cafes, parks, neutral spaces, because there, energy is shared, not surrendered. It's also worth mentioning that for some, their home represents vulnerability. It holds their routines, their moods, their imperfections. So letting someone in feels like revealing a part of themselves they usually keep private. That doesn't mean they're hiding anything bad, just that they value intimacy as something earned. Their home isn't a stage. It's a reflection of who they are when no one's watching. So, when someone crosses that threshold, it feels personal, even if the guest means no harm. That sensitivity isn't wrong. It's simply awareness. The quiet kind that values emotional safety over social duty. Some people have learned, through experience, that hosting others can be stressful. Maybe they grew up in homes where guests meant pressure, cleaning, perfection, noise, comparison. So now, even the thought of visitors brings old tension back. Others may just find deep peace in simplicity, the comfort of quiet mornings, the rhythm of familiar spaces, the ability to exist without interruption. They don't need a crowd to feel fulfilled. They find connection in smaller, quieter ways. If you relate to this, you might sometimes feel guilty. Society tells us that being social means being open, hospitable, outgoing. So when you prefer to keep your home private, you might wonder if that makes you cold or unfriendly. But here's the truth, it doesn't. You can have a warm heart and still value a quiet home. You can love people deeply and still choose to love them from a distance sometimes. Protecting your space doesn't make you antisocial. It makes you self-aware. Knowing what brings you peace and honoring it is a sign of emotional intelligence, not selfishness. If you look at it from a psychological view, your desire to keep your home private isn't rejection, it's regulation. You're regulating your energy, your comfort, your sense of balance. And the people who truly understand you won't take that personally. They'll know that when you invite them in, it means something. Because you don't open your door lightly. You open it with meaning. There's a quiet strength in people who cherish solitude. They teach us that connection doesn't always require company. That love doesn't always mean togetherness. And that peace, real peace, sometimes comes from the sound of nothing at all. It's the warmth of your own space, your own cup of tea, the way sunlight falls across your floor in the afternoon, the way silence holds you like a friend. That's home. That's comfort. And that's beautiful too. So the next time you catch yourself feeling uneasy about having guests, don't judge it. Don't force yourself to be more social than your soul allows. You can still be kind, still be generous, and still protect your peace. Because kindness doesn't require constant access. It just requires intention. And maybe, for you, the truest form of love is keeping your space calm, so that when the world feels too loud, you always have somewhere to return to. Speech balloon, are you like this too? Do you enjoy your space so much that you feel uneasy when people come over, even if you love them? Do you find peace in your own company, not because you're lonely, but because you feel complete there? If so, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you protect your space, what home means to you, and what solitude gives back to your soul. Because the truth is, there's no right or wrong way to be social. There's only what feels true to your heart. Some people fill their homes with people. Others fill theirs with peace. Both are forms of love, just written in different languages.